game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I've got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
They'll run it here. This is James White. And they'll stop him right on the midfield stripe. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a fourth down.
When the 4-3 defense is functioning really well, you know who stays what we call clean and no one gets to him? The guy playing the middle linebacker position, the guy we call Mike. That means the defensive front is eating up all the blocks and just let him go to the football and make a play.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Going absolutely nowhere. He'll wind up losing a yard or two. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And that will force a turnover on downs. So the football switching hands here in just a second. And, you know, Tom Brady, just to go off on a tangent for a second, may have lost the Super Bowl. But third MVP this past season, and what he did at age 40, really something, right, Charles?
Absolutely phenomenal. Ended up beating out Todd Gurley, the running back for the Los Angeles Rams. But he would have traded it for a Super Bowl win, don't you think? How about this? The last 9 NFL MVPs to play in the Super Bowl that same season, 0-9.
Yeah.
You go all the way back to Kurt Warner in, what, 1999, where he won the double?
We were going over that stat earlier. That is hard to believe.
But he would have been the MVP had the Patriots pulled that one out.
He still has 5 rings, though. 5 Super Bowl titles for Brady. Over the middle, it's Jared Cook. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Coming up at halftime at a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Larry Ridley is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. Over the middle, Cooper with it. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10. A really nice gain of 25 yards. So Amari Cooper out of Northwestern High School in Miami making a nice play there.
And it's so funny that when I was going through the draft process when he came out of Alabama and was inquiring about him and his skills, they say it all began back in Miami. He really became a pro receiver at a young age because of his attention to detail and precision. But don't forget his athletic ability. That's what made that catch there.
And he did spend 1 year with Teddy Bridgewater as his quarterback there, so that helped back in high school. His throw incomplete. Amari Cooper, the intended target. And that takes us from second to third down.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. Here's Carr to throw. And this is caught. It's Cooper. And he is in. Touchdown. Cooper, a 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. They'll try and run it here. And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. So the defense gets the stop. I know it's situation to situation, but who has more pressure there, offense or defense, when they go for 2?
I truly believe it's the defense has more pressure because the offense has an entire playbook wide open from the 2-yard line. You can run it, you can throw it. So defensively, I think most teams are going to be aggressive and force the issue and try and bring pressure.
And we move to spotlighting Brandon Cooks. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us. But sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. Brandon Cooks, the receiver he was going after, and that'll bring up second down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here.
And the Raiders have got him. Justin Ellis able to use that strength and get him for a loss of 2. And I know it seems like we say this a lot in broadcast booths, but a quarterback can hold on to the football too long in these situations. I think he did right there.
Oh, I agree with you totally. Sometimes you have to understand situations. Get rid of the football, save some yardage to make it less to gain for the next down. Instead, he was so hipped on ball security, he held on to it and took a big sack.
Normally, I'd say this will lead to a punt attempt, but this offense already shown in the first half that they'll go for it on 4th down.
No, they should have already said, punt it, punt it. Head coach should have already made that decision.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, spinning away. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
And here on the road, that could be a huge score for their morale in the second half.
Every team has confidence going into the start of games, but sometimes you get it rocked a little bit, and it certainly applies here for them. But guess what? Just what you said, this touchdown can give them their belief back that they can win in the second half.
And now they'll elect to go for 2 and try to cut into this lead a little further before they head to the locker room. Lewis will get the handoff. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. Well, who needs a halftime? Am I right? Let's resume play. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. On the return, here's the dangerous Cordero Patterson. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Carr again here on 2nd and 10. Over the middle, Amari Cooper. It's complete. And a big hit there as he runs into a brick wall. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, if you want to be known as dependable to your quarterback, that's what you have to do. Go into the middle of the field, know the hit is coming, and catch the football. And that's exactly what he just got done.
And defensively, a little deflating to be able to lay that hit and not have the ball pop free, right?
No doubt about it, because your goal defensively, knock it free so that they say, okay, guess what? We're not going to throw it in there anymore. Now, they'll still continue to be aggressive. And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Here we go on 4th down with Carr. And this is caught. Amari Cooper. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. They get 25 yards out of that one. And the Raiders are going to have a 1st down. first down. The run with Lynch. And some space here. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
And he finds Cook. And he gets this down to the 18, good enough for a first down. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Following the penalty, Lynch. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Lawrence Guy in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Only a couple yards there, and that's going to set up a long 3rd and goal. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So erase the red zone score. They'll have to dial that one up again.
And you know how difficult it is to strike in the red zone because things are a little bit more condensed. You got to go back to their play chart and see if they can dial up another one.
That is caught inside the 5. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. A big play, but still not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker.
694, express. Loose right, chief. Check.
They'll run for it. Lynch, and he will not even make it back to the line of scrimmage. They stop him on 4th and goal at the 3. And the Patriots get the football back. So the magic runs out, so to speak. They were 3 for 3 on 4th down conversions, now 3 for 4.
So the defense finally gets to exhale.
Yeah.
Because they were wondering, 3 for 3 getting converted on 4th down. That percentage is way high. They hadn't stopped them at all. Finally, they get a stop. They can get to the sidelines now and rest a little bit.
And they'll get him down up past the 15. That goes as a gain of 11 and a Patriot first down. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Now they'll run it on the toss. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
I think they want to start getting back into this game. It behooves them to get better.
Back now in the East Bay. It's Patriot football, but they trail here as we begin the fourth quarter. So the offense now dealing with a 2nd and 7. Ready to throw on 2nd down. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. On third down, Brady. He's letting it fly. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. And in a two-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. Second down. I guess they're in a situation now, fourth quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Lewis has the first down and then some. And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. Dion Lewis, his second touchdown of the afternoon, and the Patriots are back within a score. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like...
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by the safety, Reggie Nelson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
It's interesting that when it comes to two-point conversions, even heavy run teams tend to throw the ball in these situations. In this case, this one was intercepted.
Yeah, they weren't fooled. They were ready for the pass, picked it off. Gostkowski now out to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And they will be backed up deep as they'll have to start the drive from the 6-yard line. Amari Cooper and the rest of the offense heading back out there now. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
A tight game like this, such a tough spot for the offense to be in. Even though they have the lead, Charles, back up so close to their goal line, they got to protect the football.
And that's when you have to take care of your team with play calling as well. Not a lot of misdirection, not a lot of counters, not a lot of plays where you have extra ball handling. Get it right to the hands of your running back. Tell him to take care of the ball and try to move forward.
34 yards there and a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Carr gives to Marshawn. And a big collision there as he winds up flat on his back. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
And complete right side to Cook. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives them a new set of downs. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
On the give, this is Lynch. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On second down, Lynch. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. Jumping all the way from the outside, maybe getting a little early start in the corner blitz.
And the only time it makes sense to get that penalty is exactly as you described. Otherwise, he should never get that penalty.
The Raiders on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Now Carr. And that's complete to Walford. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. On the handoff, Lynch. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Carr going to throw here. That is incomplete. He was trying to get it to Michael Crabtree there. 3rd down here.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the left hash, this from 34. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.